Thanks, guys. So who are Deeper Than Blue?
Deeper Than Blue are a premier IBM business partner. We engage with clients in two areas predominantly. So we have a commerce practice that implements e-commerce for organisations in a number of business sectors, so business to consumer as well as business to business solutions. So we cover retail, manufacturing, wholesale distribution, typically with those types of solutions. And we focus on digital transformation with those organisations as well, which leads us to bringing middleware integration technologies into play to connect systems of record to systems of engagement, effectively what we've implemented as part of that digital transformation project.
So Ian, over the last few years, we've seen a number of high street retailers go bankrupt or struggling. Why do you think this is?
Well, purchasing habits have changed over the past kind of 10, 20 years. In the 90s, you would, call someone up or you would go into a store and purchase. In the noughties, as it were, you got the emergence of more complex websites. So, the companies were putting those websites out there to be able to allow customers to purchase online. But that was definitely a blend of a lot of people using those for research and still going into the store or making that call. More recently, obviously, you've got the far more complex websites, which allows you to do literally everything other than walk in a store. So a lot of the companies that haven't evolved with those purchasing habits have fell short, and that there's plenty of examples of where companies haven't evolved with their customers' purchasing habits. Woolworths, Blockbuster, Maplin, and Toys R Us. All have fell foul for not evolving with their customers' purchasing habits.
Yeah.
It's also this pace of change as well that's been critical to some of these organisations' failure, and the pressure that organisations have got when a consumer not only orders at the glass, but making sure that they honour that promise in terms of fulfilling it. And the pressure is actually in the fulfilment, the delivery on that promise that they make at the glass. So being able to deliver those products historically in a couple of days, but now we're down to same day or down to same hour. And not all organisations have got their house in order in terms of being able to fulfil those products as rapidly as some of the market leaders out there.
Sure. So how are Deeper Than Blue helping with that digital transformation?
Well, at Deeper Than Blue, we kind of champion a product-led approach, which really does enable clients to be able to keep up with that pace of change that customers are looking for. Historically, people would do lengthy projects which inevitably have an end date.
Tended to be a waterfall type approach, so they were a bit monolithic in structure.
Yeah.
And the market would move while somebody was delivering one of those projects over a 6 or 9 month or even 12-month period.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that product-led approach allows companies to evolve very quickly with what their customers are actually looking for and the experiences that they may be getting elsewhere, whether that's an Amazon or whether that's some other online shop. Companies will need to keep up with those purchasing experiences that they want to see. Everybody knows that very few people are brand loyal these days. What they are loyal to is a good experience, and being a product-led delivery approach, which allows fast change to keep up with those different purchasing experiences. That's what we help our companies do. Our clients do, I should say.
Well, we're typically seeing that organisations that were using these monolithic kind of waterfall styles are wanting to adapt and adopt things like an agile type approach, and be delivering out of their product backlog in terms of new features, functions, and doing that within typically 2-week sprint cycles, which is where some of our projects are at, and even down to 1 week. And the holy grail is being faster than that, daily releases. I think for some organisations out there, there are a few achieving that in terms of the large Amazons of this world, for example. But certainly for organisations to move to 1, 2, or even a 4-week delivery cycle is a significant change, isn't it, for organisations from where they are today?
It absolutely is, yeah. And I mean, there's a couple of key things as well that allows that to happen. You have to put the customer at the heart of your decision-making process, because if you've got people that are making decisions for those to change those experiences that aren't representing what the customer wants, you're always going to go in a slightly different direction than what your customer actually wants. So, putting the customer at the heart of that decision-making process is key. are not validating your decisions, but actually using data to help you make decisions is another key aspect. A lot of people will use data to verify something that they've done.
Yeah.
Whereas the companies that are winning at the moment at this type of stuff are actually using data to help them inform about what those changes are. They're getting rid of vanity metrics, as it were, to put them up there, and they're actually going deeper dive into some of that data to actually ensure that what they're doing is correct for their customers, not necessarily the board or the executives around, I want that particular piece of functionality. That they're using customers, and you're using data from the experiences that customers are having to actually inform the future backlogs for that rapid change process that they put in place.
Yeah, it's helping the prioritisation and driving what the return on investment areas should be.
Perfect. Thanks so much for coming, guys.